Altona Regional Library, and we're back with another stream video. And today is all about cool science. So it's science about ice
and crystals. And we're going to have lots of fun today.
Yes, we may even hit a little art by the end of the video. So first up is ice fishing.
Yay! Woo! So we're in Florida, so ice fishing is going to have a little bit of different twist to it. We're going to go fishing for ice. So our first thing, what you'll need for this project is some ice cubes, some string. You can get a couple different kinds of string, water, a bowl of water, and table salt, just regular old table salt. So our first thing is we're going to make our ponds.
Yay!
So we have some fish, ice fish here. I just happen to have some ice cubes that look like fish. So I will fill my pond, and Mary can fill her pond. Let me reach this. Okay. The next thing you're going to do, when you have your pond all full, is you're going to get a piece of string, because we need string to go fishing with.
Okay.
I'm going to use this string, and Mary's going to use this twine. So you can use any type that you want. Okay, so this is going to be your fishing line. So the way we're going to catch the fish is we're going to use salt as bait. So what you'll do is you will lay your string on top of your ice cubes. Try and get them all lined up on there. Now if you have bigger cubes, it's going to be a little bit easier. So you'll put that on there. Then you're going to take a little bit of your salt and you're going to sprinkle it right on top.
My fish are schooling.
Of the right on top of the ice cube where the string is touching the ice cube. So you put that on there and you let your bait work for a little bit. Now the way this works is that the salt will begin to melt the ice a little bit because the salt makes the water warmer. It's a thermodynamic thing. You guys can look that up. But as the solution and the salt gets less salty, the water freezes again and you can pick up your ice. So let's try this and see what happens. And so I caught one.
My fish swam away.
So our ice cubes were a little small, but we did catch one, so you guys can try again. Now let's see that close up.
Hey!
We caught a fish.
We caught a fish.
But it's catch and release. So.
Okay, so ice fishing was a lot of fun. Now we're going to move into icebergs. So bigger pieces of ice floating around in the ocean. Well, the ocean we know is salt water. Right? Because you go swimming at the beach and you don't really want to drink it because it tastes like you just ate a whole batch of fries.
Yeah, salty.
Yes, very salty. But icebergs are freshwater. There's no salt in them.
They're formed by snow and ice that accumulates and then it goes into the ocean.
Right. So we're going to see how the two react.
So first we're going to make some salt
water.
Ocean.
So of course we need some water.
Now our salt water is a little bit different. The ocean salt has a lot of different minerals and everything in it. We're using just straight table salt again. Salt. Actually, we're
gonna make it super salty.
Salt.
So you can really see the difference.
Now, there's a special word for this mixture. Do you know what it is?
A solution?
Yes. Yay! So we're making a solution. So we are doing
science, chemistry.
Chemistry. See? Isn't it fun? You don't even know you're doing science and it's in here. So now we have our ocean. What a beautiful ocean. Now we will calve some icebergs into it. That's what it's called when an iceberg comes off of a glacier. It's called calving. So who thought, giant iceberg cows? So here they go.
We have giant iceberg sea stars.
Now,
mini iceberg sea stars.
As you can see, you can start to see the salt water and the fresh water mixing. And we'll get a close-up on this so you can see how it goes. And if you look here, right below, on top you see just tiny little pieces of ice. So it looks like small little ice cubes. But if you can see under the water, how much of the ice is below the water. So when you see an iceberg, they say about 70% of that iceberg is actually under the water. You don't see that much. So let's see.
And we see how the red is staying up towards the top. The strongest red color is up towards the top of the water because fresh water is less dense.
Correct.
Than salt water.
And that's why the ice cubes are floating. And as it starts to melt, you'll see this color will start to... So, the water at the bottom of the ocean is actually denser than the water at the top because there's more fresh water in there. So do some more experiments at home and see what kind of icebergs you can make.
Okay, so we've gone ice fishing and we've seen icebergs. Now we're going to show how you can make some art with Florida snow. Since we don't get cold enough here to get actual H2O snow, we're going to make snow paintings using salt. Now, salt comes in many different forms. We have Epsom salt, which is magnesium sulfate, and table salt, which is sodium chloride. Now, table salt you can eat. That's what you put on your fries to make them nice and yummy. Epsom salt you do not want to eat. It is magnesium sulfate. Don't ever salt your fries with this. It's disgusting. It might hurt you. So again, don't ever eat anything we do on the show unless we tell you to. But table salt is different from Epsom salt. And right now we're going to use Epsom. So what we're going to do is make a super solution. So we're going to take our Epsom salts and do 2 big scoops. Now we did add a little bit of food coloring to our Epsom salts earlier so we could do another experiment to make it a little colorful. It doesn't make a difference. The important thing is the salt. So 2 big scoops of Epsom salt, and then you want some hot water. 1 scoop of hot water to make this a super salty solution. Be careful with the hot water. Get a parent to help you or an adult to help you if you need it. And we're going to stir that together to dissolve the salt. Because that's what makes the solution, right? We learned that earlier making our ocean. Get that a good stir. So this is super, 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 super salty. I'm going to add a little bit more water, because I made mine a little too super. Okay, it's not all quite dissolved, but I think we're pretty good. All right. So now we're going to make our own little salt crystals. As the water evaporates, the crystals from the salt are left behind, and we're going to make our own snow paintings. So let's pour some of our solution. I'm going just to make it a little bit easier on myself. I'm going to pour some of our saltwater solution. Remember, this is not salt water you want to drink. Well, you don't ever want to drink salt water, but this is not salt you want to ingest. So I'm going to pour some of that into my pan. And then I'm going to take a black piece of construction paper because it shows up a little bit better. And my paintbrush. And I'm going to start painting. So let's see, I'm going to paint a big cloud. Snow comes from clouds. And I'll paint a tree. Perhaps some snowflakes. And a snowy ground for our tree to sit on. Now, we just let it dry. So remember, drying just means that the water's evaporating, and while the water evaporates, salt does not. So as the water leaves it, the newly formed salt will crystallize on the paper, leaving behind our Florida snow. Now there's something you do have to be patient for, so the longer you wait, the better picture you get. So we had a whole lot of fun with our cool ice science during this stream video. We learned that salt has a thermal reaction to water, which is when we went ice fishing.
So, you know, like, and just like regular ice fishing, it wasn't always successful. But it worked.
And that's how science works. It doesn't work all of the time. Sometimes you have to repeat experiments to get the results that really inform you. We also learned that salt water and fresh water have different densities, and that's why icebergs that are freshwater float in salt water. And we learned that when water dries or evaporates, it will leave behind the salt crystals
that was in it.
That was mixed in the solution that allows us to make our beautiful snow paintings.
You can see Miss Mary's beautiful
our winter landscape,
tree and cloud, all made with salt.
Yes, with Florida snow.
Yes.
Wow.
So I hope you guys had lots of fun. Join us next stream Thursday for more science and entertainment fun.
See you next time.